They thought she was weak. They thought she would stay silent. They thought slapping her in front of 200 students would break her, but that moment didn't destroy her, it ignited her. What the world didn't know was that the quiet, bullied girl they humiliated would return with a truth so powerful it would flip the entire school, the bullies' lives, and even the principal's future upside down. This is not just a story of revenge, this is a story of evolution, justice, and an unexpected twist that will leave you speechless. Fire if you love stories where the silent one becomes unforgettable. Make sure to subscribe, follow, and stay till the end, because the last twist will shock you. They said high school was supposed to be the best years of your life, but for Alina, it was a battlefield where silence was her only shield, and the louder she tried to hide, the more the world seemed to notice her existence just to crush it, because in a school obsessed with popularity, branded bags, shiny shoes, rich parents and fake friendships, Alina was the invisible one, the scholarship girl, the daughter of a farmer, the girl who wore the same faded backpack for 3 years, and ate lunch alone under the staircase where no one had to see her, judge her, or pretend to feel sorry for her. But everything changed on a Monday morning when the biggest bully in school, Melissa King, the untouchable princess whose father funded half the school building, decided to make Alina her public entertainment, because the universe had apparently gifted her boredom and cruelty in equal measure. And while the entire school gathered in the assembly hall for the announcement of the upcoming interschule competition, Melissa and her group dragged Alina forward in front of 200 students, mocking her clothes, her shoes, her silence, her life, pushing her again and again until Melissa said in that sugar-coated venomous voice, "Let's show everyone how a peasant girl reacts when a queen touches her." And the crowd laughed because no one ever wanted to be the one who defended the weak and became the next target. And then it happened. Melissa slapped her, loud, sharp, humiliating, the sound echoing across the hall as the entire student body gasped, phones recording, teachers frozen, the principal nowhere in sight, and for a moment the world stopped, time paused, the humiliation turned into a burning fire inside Alina's chest, but instead of crying, instead of running, instead of breaking, Alina just stood there, eyes steady, lips trembling not from fear but from something far more dangerous, resolve, and that scared Melissa more than any slap ever could, because bullies expect tears, not silence mixed with power. But what no one knew was that this one slap was not the end of anything, it was the beginning of everything, because Alina was not who they thought she was, her life was not what they assumed, and the world was about to witness the exact moment a victim turns into a storm, because the very thing that made her invisible was about to make her unforgettable. And yet the strangest thing wasn't Alina's silence, but the way she looked straight into Melissa's eyes after that slap, not with fear, not with anger, but with the kind of calm that feels like the silence right before a thunderstorm, the kind where even the wind holds its breath. And for the first time in her life, Melissa felt something she had never experienced before, uncertainty, because the girl she slapped wasn't shrinking, she wasn't begging, she wasn't crying, she was simply waiting, and that terrified the bully more than anything. But the crowd didn't notice the shift, they just laughed, phones flashing, comments flying like knives, because in a world where cruelty was entertainment, empathy was extinct, and that moment was captured, edited, turned into memes before Alina even walked out of the hall. But what no one expected was the 48 hours that followed, because in those 2 days, the principal received an email that made his blood run cold, the teachers were called into an emergency meeting, Melissa's father received a legal notice, and the entire school found out that the poor farmer girl they thought was powerless actually belonged to a world way bigger than theirs, because Alina's parents weren't just farmers, they were the legal owners of half the land the school was built on, land worth millions, land that the school had been using under a temporary contract that was set to expire in 10 days, land that gave her family the full right to shut down the school, take back the property, or charge rent so high the school would go bankrupt, and the only reason they hadn't done it yet was because they wanted Alina to finish her final year quietly, without trouble, without attention. But now trouble had found her, slapped her, humiliated her in front of 200 witnesses, and her grandmother, the real head of the family, the woman with the final signature power, said just one sentence when she saw the viral video: "If they wanted a show, then we will give them a finale they will never forget." And with that, the countdown began, not with shouting, not with fighting, but with the most terrifying revenge of all, legal, silent, unstoppable power, the kind that doesn't knock on the door, it removes the door entirely. And while Melissa bragged online calling Alina a pathetic nobody, she had no idea her father was already on a phone call being told that if he didn't publicly apologize, withdraw his daughter from the school, and pay emotional compensation, the school might not exist by next month. And the principal, who once ignored bullying to protect sponsorship money, suddenly treated Alina like royalty, and when the same 200 students gathered again in the hall, it wasn't to mock her, it was to watch what would go down in history as the most shocking school assembly ever held.